What's going on, traders? Welcome into the video. I got a good one for you here. If you can't tell by the title, I'm quitting Forex for now, at least. We'll see what happens. Again, everything is fluid. My watches has changed over the years dramatically between Forex pairs alone and then now switching to different assets. But I want to talk about why specifically. So if you guys remember any of my videos and see any of my trades, it looks like this on the Forex side of things, a new high day, retest of the Asia range high, good L50, good trend, right? And we see it run for a new high day. It definitely still does work. It has an edge. It has a higher probability of working out than it doesn't. But through my recent month and a half, 2 months maybe, it's just not performing like it used to and how it has in the past. So I'm looking to maybe shift my assets because the strategy still stands. My skills are still there, but if I'm taking good trades on a bad asset that doesn't really trend nicely for me, well then the odds are stacked against me. There's nothing really I could do about it. I'm trading a bad asset. So what can I do to try to find these trending moves? I could look to a different asset like oil, the indices, maybe even stocks. So that's what I'm looking for now. But again, everything is fluid. I could be trading Forex 6 months from now, 3 months from now. Because before we get into the markups of what my newer trades look like, let's just look at the Forex side of things. So this is on the daily. So like I said, September, October-ish, this is what we have on the daily. Just pretty much consolidation, where if you look back in the spring, we had some nice bullish days consecutive, holding the trend, holding the 21 EMA. In the summer, we had some nice bearish days, holding the 21 EMA and trending nicely. But then once we got to September, October, yes, there's bearish days. Yes, it's holding the 21, but it's kind of just sideways. And then we look at GA on the other side of things. It's the same thing. The spring was kind of nice bullish moves continuing, and then we shift down. Okay, we get some nice runners. September, October, we're really just sitting sideways. So how am I supposed to find a trending move, a continuation move, if it's not trending, right? So I'm kind of just forcing it. If it's not trending, doesn't matter how good the setup is, the asset just isn't trending right now and going to agree with my bias. So that's why I'm looking at these type of plays. Here we have some stock plays. I'm finding some really interesting plays within the first hour of that New York Open, like 9:30 to 10:30. There's definitely some afternoon plays, but this is just on Microsoft at 9:51. We're also going to look at the lower time frames, like a 1 minute right here. Bullish on the open, new high day, first pullback off the VWAP, take it higher. Another new high day, pullback inside the band, take it long. And of course, there's going to be losers, but it's just really interesting to see how easy it is to pick a bias of like, okay, how did we react on the New York Open? Bullish, pulls back to my VWAP. That's where I want to get in. That's a good price. Gives you another opportunity. If you take it later on in the day at like 11 outside the bands, you might lose. But within that first hour, there could be some promising moves. And this is on Tesla. Bearish on the open this time. New low, pullback. I'm selling it at the VWAP. That's my favorite price to want to try to sell it or buy it. You get a nice mover, a new low day, pull back again inside the bands, moves lower again. If you take this third one, yeah, maybe it's slightly on the band, you still want to take it. That one loses, but you still go 2 for 3 within the first hour, 2 hours of the New York Open. That's not too bad. This is on Microsoft, the first signal, again, a very bullish open. Small new high day, pull back inside the bands. Good stop at that previous structure. What does it do? It just continues trending and riding that structure of outside the bands for 7R. It continues throughout the whole day. But maybe we'll get 2, 3R out of it. That's still fine. Now, what you're probably used to seeing is the indices right here. SPX, this is scrunched together on a 5-minute. This is just showing overnight Asia into London was pretty bearish. Buyers tried to step in. They couldn't. We get another new low day, pull back to the Asia range low on a 5-minute, and you lose. But the beauty of this VWAP, these lower time frames, is you can quickly flip your bias, right? So, okay, we're looking at how did we react to the VWAP so far today? Who's been in control? It looks like sellers, so I'm going to try to take it short. That loses at 7 in the morning. You stick around and you come back in at 12:49 in the afternoon, New York time. We've now since been bullish all New York Open. We have a VWAP from the New York Open, retesting the band, last week's high, yesterday's high zone, and you now flip your bias to long because we're above the VWAP. Buyers are clearly back in control, not the sellers, and you can get another re-entry or maybe even come back tomorrow. But you can quickly flip-flop your bias with an edge still to it. This is on SPX again. You can see on this one, sellers kind of in Asia into London, but it respects that last week's high zone, retesting it. Buyers kind of fight here. Buyers step in, new high day, retest to the Asia range high, new high day. So you can see you could probably try to sell it in London while it's making lower highs, lower lows. Maybe you make money on a few of them, but then you lose. Okay, I'll come back in during New York. What are we doing now? I'm looking for long. So you can quickly just flip flop. I don't like to use that word because it seems like you're not confident in a direction, but you can quickly change your bias if it proves to be wrong. You don't want to just keep on marrying it if it's not painting that type of structure. This is another one on SPX. Higher highs, higher lows. This is a kind of different play that I'm also studying. I'm studying a bunch of these. How could I get in on these 1 minutes? Because it's very reactive. So this one, it pulls back to the VWAP. No A2s that I would like. None of these flags, the indicators for the A2 that I would like. But I know I want to be long here on a Friday. We've been making higher highs, higher lows. We retest the VWAP. Now we're coming back higher. Well, if you put a VWAP from the New York Open, this is the first time it's really breaking above. So you put a long position in there. Stop loss could maybe go with the structure, or maybe even just that Asia range high if it gets back below there and back below that New York VWAP. Do you want to be long? Probably not. And you get a 8R runner throughout the rest of the Friday. It was a pretty strong Friday close. But just regardless, there's these type of moves where you're breaking a VWAP. There's the A2s that I like to trade. And then what do we got here? This is on a 15-minute what you're probably used to seeing for my trades, and it still does stand. Like I said, this is a new high day. Retest. It's not the Asia range high, but it is a nice zone going to the left. Asia range high is just below it. And then just consecutive bars, just higher highs, higher lows. And this is all that 1 minute chart we were just looking at, the same New York VWAP here. So it still does stand. I'm not quitting Forex forever. Again, I could be trading it in a month. But right now, trying to force a trending move on a Forex pair that's not trending, I'm just going to I'm trying to shoot myself in the foot. There's just not, you don't have probabilities on your side. So for me, it's just trying to trade the right asset. These indices and these stocks move very cleanly. They trend all day pretty much. And if they don't, of course, not everything's 100%. So I'll just try to stay out of the market, pick my spots, get my 1R. So for the time being, I am trying to step away from the Forex because it's just choppy. I'm seeing way too many trades that should do something, do the opposite. And of course, nothing's 100% of the time. But I'm finding a lot more losers than I feel like I should for how strong my edge is. And that's not me, that's not the market, that's just, it's not trending right now. So yeah, give it time to start getting back in a cycle of making higher highs, higher lows, consecutive bullish days, consecutive bearish days, trending, continuation days. Because if I'm trying to trade a trending pair on a non-trending asset, I'm not going to find much success with it. So again, assets change all the time. The market cycle changes all the time. My watches change all the time. I could be trading Forex in 2 months' time. I could be trading stocks in 6 months, futures in 8 months. No one knows. We just got to stay adaptive, reactive, learn new ways to get in the market, keep up to date with the cycles, and just protect our capital. So for me, I don't feel like I have the highest probability right now trying to force these Forex pairs. So I'm going to try to take my edge, my strategy, my market abilities to an asset that is. So I recommend you do the same if you're struggling as well.